सरस्वती जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय 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 माता सरस्वती जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी हंसवाहिनी परमासन माता हंसवाहिनी परमासन माता वीणा पुस्तक दायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय 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 माता सरस्वती जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी तू ही दुर्गा तू ही काली तू ही माता पार्वती तू ही दुर्गा तू ही काली तू ही माता पार्वती सकल जगत के पालन करनी सकल जगत के पालन करनी वीर्या बोली दायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय 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 माता सरस्वती जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश शेष सब ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश शेष सब तेरे ही गुणगान करे तेरे ही गुणगान करे हम सबका कल्याण करो माँ हम सबका कल्याण करो माँ वीर्या बोरी दायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय 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 माता सरस्वती जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय शुभदायिनी वरदायिनी जय नारायणी जय जय दुर्गे जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः जय नारायणी जय जय दुर्गे जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः तेरा पावन सुमिरन करते अंतर में सुख भर आता रोम रोम में प्रेम तिहारा स्वार्थी हारे आके मैया, कोई खाली नहीं जाए। जय ब्रह्मानी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। जय नारायणी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। ध्यान भजन हम निश दिन करते, मन में जपसी नाम विमल। शरण परे तो एक सहारा, मैया तेरा चरण कमल। जयत शिवानी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। जय नारायणी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। जय नारायणी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। जय जय दुर्गे नमो नमः।
और तीसरी चंद्र घंटा के नाम के प्रसिद्ध है। चौथी को कुष्मांडा कहते हैं। पांचवी दुर्गा का नाम स्कंद माता है। देवी के छठी रूप को कात्यायनी कहते हैं। सातवां कालरात्रि और आठवां महागौरी के नाम से प्रसिद्ध है। और नवी दुर्गा का नाम सिद्धि रात्रि है। ओम प्रथमं शैलपुत्री च द्वितीयं ब्रह्मचारिणी तृतीयं चन्द्रघण्टेति कुष्ठमाण्डेति चतुर्थकं पंचमं स्कन्दमातेति कष्टं कात्यायनीति च सप्तमं कालरात्रीति महागौरीति चाष्टमं नवमं सिद्धिदात्री च नवदुर्गा प्रकीर्तिता उक्तान्येतानि नामानि ब्रह्म एव महात्मना अग्निना दह्यमानस्तु शत्रुमध्ये गतोरणे विषमे दुर्गमे चैव भयार्ता शरणं गतः न तेषां जायते किंचित् शुभं रणसंकटे नापदं तस्य पश्यामि शोक दुख भयं नहीं। जो मनुष्य आग में जल रहा हो, शत्रुओं से घिरा हुआ हो और बड़े संकट में खोया हो, दुखी हो और डर से पीड़ित हो, यदि इन वह नामों को याद करे तो उसका कभी भी किसी प्रकार का नुकसान या अशुभ नहीं हो सकता। युद्ध के समय दुख पईने पर भी उनके ऊपर कोई विपदा नहीं आती तथा वह दुख भय और शोक को प्राप्त नहीं होता। Anyone who chants these 9 names of Divine Mother, whatever the nature of the worry, the misfortune, the pain, the opposition, the obstacle, then the chanting of these names, all of these. This is the greatest of the name of Ma. This is the greatest of the worship of Ma. And this is Ma's blessing to you and I. Om Vanditangre Yoge Devi Sarva Saubhagyadayini Rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi. Achinta rupa charite devi sarva shatru vinashini. Rupam dehi jayam dehi yasho dehi dvisho jahi. Karpure gauram karunavataram sansara saram bhujagendraharam sada vasantam hridayarvinde bhavam bhavani sahitam namami. Om Namaschandikaya. Bole Shri Shakti Jagdambika Mata Ki. Devotees, it was on this day, 21st of September 1995, where the Chi Chamatkar, the milk miracle took place. But throughout the world, it all started with a simple man in a village in India. He dreamt that the Murti in his village, the Lord Murti of Lord Ganesh, was requesting milk. He had none. He fetched some, and the moment he placed the milk before Lord Ganesh, it vanished, it disappeared. Bhagwan Ganesh accepted that milk. The word spread not only from that village, but throughout India and throughout the world. It even came to Trinidad. And I'm sure there are some here who may have done that. Today is that day. Did anybody try it again? Well, if not now, maybe when you go home. The milk was accepted by the Lord. Bhagwan is saying, I'm always here, I'm always ready, and waiting to accept your offerings. Do it with love, and it will be readily accepted, and you shall be blessed abundantly. So on this auspicious day, let us remember Lord Ganesh, and let us glorify him before we commence our katha. Gaye Ganapati Jagabandana. Gaye Ganapati Jagabandana. Shankar Suvana Bhavani Siddhi Sadana Gajavadana Vinayaka Kripa Sindhu Sundare Sablayaka Modak Priya Muda Mangaladata Vidyambaridhi Buddhi Vidhata. When I say Manga Tulsidas, call your name. Call the names of those who are near and dear to you. And let's do Mansik Puja. Visualize the Murti of Lord Ganesh and you're sitting before him or standing. There's so much love in your heart for the Lord, because he says you are exceptionally dear to me, and you're offering him that milk, the milk of goodness, the milk of righteousness, the milk of devotion, because this is what he says he wants. Make that offering now, devotees, and see if you can experience the bliss that comes from such a wonderful action. Mangat tulasi dasi kare jore basahi राम सिया मानस मोरे राम मानस मोरे जय गणेश बाबा श्री गणेश जय गणेश बाबा श्री गणेश जय गणेश बाबा श्री गणेश बाबा श्री गणेश Devi of Navratri, we also chant the name of Ma. Jai Durga Mata Jai Ma Jai Durga Mata Jai Durga Mata Maya Jai Durga Mata Om Namah Shivaya 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 Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya. The name of Brihadarat. And what did they hear about him? That he knew the past, the present, and the future. He was a man of spiritual power. He had everything good going for him. He was a devotee of Ma Annapoorna Devi. And so his fame and name spread far and wide. And they became curious. And as Ramayana puts it beautifully, Janam Janam Muni Yatan Karai Antaram Kehi Avat Nahi. Sages born, die, reborn, they die again, and yet they cannot behold the form of Sri Ram or God. And this man, he has been able to do all of this. What is it that he did that we are not doing? What is special about him? Notice they wanted to know. There was no envy and jealousy. If my brother succeeds, I should be proud of him, not pull him down. And I should try to learn from him what he has done so I can also practice it to also elevate myself. That's how intelligent people think. So, thinking like this, they went to where this powerful monarch or king was. When he heard that some sages had come to visit him, Atiti Deva Bhava, it is a treat of a guest with dignity, befitting their status in life. Treat them with a sense of compassion, love, and make them feel welcome. That again is a tremendous practice of Hinduism. And from that sprang the hospitality industry, where now people do degrees, and where many countries live off the hospitality industry for the creation of employment and earning foreign exchange. See how far it can go? Sanatan Dharam. Here the sages were warmly welcomed. The king was happy to have such people, because not every day you have a holy man in your home, do you? If you have one every day, that's great. Then you're even more blessed. So it's not always this happens. So he had that kind of understanding. This man who had control over the mind, body, and senses, who had control all the vices. There was no vice in his life. Imagine that, a man with no vice. Unbelievable devotee. This is the nature of the man, the character of the man. And so, when they were seated and he gave them all the necessary welcome and extended genuine hospitality, Then they said, O king, we are here because we would like to hear from you what you did that you are enjoying so much happiness while everywhere there is pain, poverty, starvation. Tell us. And so he closed his eyes. He meditated upon a form of Ma. You see, we always, when we start, we do this meditation. When Goddess Parvati asked Bhagwan Shankar, tell me about Sri Ram. For 2 hours he closed his eyes and he meditated upon the form of Sri Ram. And he began to internalize what he was about to say. And what he was about to say would be nothing but the truth. And he would say it with so much love, so much emotion, so much devotion that will touch the very heart of Goddess Parvati. And this is how the reciter has to say it. And this is how the listener has to listen to it. So when there is this combination and harmony between the reciter and the narrator and the listener, then there is tremendous vibration and positive energies. So we all have a role to play, all of us. So he closed his eyes, meditated upon the form of Ma. What he did, very quietly, very lovingly, he was chanting the name of Ma. You see, he wanted to get that inspiration. He wanted to make that direct contact with Ma. He didn't want his words just to flow from his voice, but he wanted the words to flow from his heart. And he wanted those words to be truthful and loving words. And that he must do justice to the glorification of Ma. It's in a very simple way inside. Lovingly he says, Hare Durga, Hare Durga, Durga Mata, Hare Hare, Hare Durga, Hare Durga, Durga Mata, Hare Hare. Hare Durga, Hare Durga, Durga Mata, Hare Hare, Hare Durga,
Hare Durga, Durga Mata, Hare Hare,
Hare Durga, Hare Durga, Durga Mata, Hare Hare. Durga Mata, Hare Hare, Durga. And devotees, he began to explain, answering the question they had asked. Bhagwan Narayan is saying to Narad Muni, O Narad, सुनो, एक विषय में एक बहुत पुराना इतिहास तुम्हें सुनाता हूं। मन में भक्ति उत्पन्न करने वाला यह प्रसंग राजा बृहद से संबंध रखता। बृहरस्थस्य राजर्षे प्रियं भक्ति प्रदायकं चक्वाको भवत्पक्षी कश्चिदेशो हिमालय ब्रह्मनानाविधान् देशान् ययौ काशीपुरी प्रति अन्नपूर्णा महस्तानि प्रारब्धवष्टतो द्विज जगाम लील्या तत्र कनलोकभदनात्वत कृत्वा प्रदक्षिणामेकां जगाम सा विहाय सा देशान्तरं विहाय पुरीमुक्तिप्रदायिनीं कालान्तरे ममारासौ गतस्वर्गपुरी प्रति बभूजे विषयन्तं वान् दिव्यरूपधरो युवा रही है। उन कृतज्ञ और पापियों के जन्मों के धिक्कार है जो जननी भगवती को अपना उपास्य देवता समझते हैं और उनकी आराधना नहीं करते। तो हे ऋषियों सुनिए, एक मात परा देवी के उपासना ही नित्य है, यह श्रुति का कथन है। इस संशय शून्य विषय में अधिक क्या कहूं। बस भगवती के चरण कमलों को ही निरंतर उपासना करनी चाहिए। इसमें बढ़कर धरातल उरुसा कोई श्रेष्ठ कार्य नहीं है। निर्गुणा अथवा सगुणा किसी भी देवी की भक्ति पूर्वक उपासना करनी चाहिए। भगवान नारायण बोले कि हे नारद, राजर्षि बृहर्षि से बड़े ही धार्मिक नरेश थे। उनके वचन सुनकर संपूर्ण ऋषियों का हृदय प्रसन्नता से पर भर गया और वे सब अपने अपने स्थानों पर चले गए। वे भगवती जगदम्बिका किस प्रकार के विलक्षण प्रभावों से संपन्न है, उनकी पूजा के कितने महान फल है, इसके विषय में कौन पूछे और उत्तर दे। अर्थात इसका प्रोक्ता और वक्ता दोनों ही दुर्लभ है। जिनका जन्म सफल होने को होता है, उन्हीं लोगों की देवी पूजा पर श्रद्धा होती है। वे वर्ण संकट होते हैं, उनके मन में ऐसे श्रद्धा कदापि नहीं उत्पन्न होती। इति श्री देवी भागवते महापुराणे दशम अंबिका माता की। Devotees, he began to explain. He said, I will tell you what I was in my previous life. And we all have a past in this life and also previous lives. He remembered them because he knew them all. We don't know ours. And many question, why don't we know? Devotees, that's a limitation of man. Unless he is able to transcend these physical limitations and he has spiritual enlightenment, then he will remain in that situation. So he says, in my previous life, I was a bird. Imagine that. In his previous life, he was a bird. A chakwak bird. He says, and what does a bird do? Fly from place to place, looking for food, finding rest when the time comes for rest. So one day, I began to fly. I was hungry, looking for food everywhere. I found none. Imagine he's flying, looking for something to eat. Even the trees had no fruits. There was nothing on the land. There's nothing in the sky and nothing on the water. This was his particular situation. He said, this is how my situation. I'm looking for food. I can't find anything anywhere to eat. So I began to think, if there's none in the trees, none in the farmland, none in anybody's yard, let me go to the temple. Now imagine a bird is thinking of a temple. And we all know the importance of a temple in everybody's lives. And devotees, from the historical point of view, to the spiritual point of view, social point of view, temples are extremely vital for our very existence. Many say, Baba, I don't come because I have a temple at home. Well, that's how they think. They don't understand the sense of community, the sense of communal praying, the sense of togetherness. You know how many people have found happiness in temple, devotees, but you can't find elsewhere? Let's say things are not going well. You come to the temple, you sit by yourself, you look at the murtis, you pour out your heart, you pray, you cry, you bow, and you leave feeling with a sense of comfort. This is what temples are there for. Sita Ma, when she saw Sri Ram, she went in the temple of Girija. She prayed sincerely. The temple, as you all know from the story in Ramayana. The Murti, when she placed her forehead upon the feet of the Murti, the mala from the Murti fell upon her head. When she looked up, the Murti smiled. Then the Murti spoke and said, you shall, he upon whom you have set your heart shall be yours, meaning shall be married to Sri Ram. And many others have found the answers in temples before the Murti of the Lord. Devotees, find some time to think of the greatness of a temple. Right now, families are not as solid and unified as they ought to be. Right now, in many homes, they don't have the grandparents on either side. Even the parents themselves, they're all very busy. So who is passing on the tradition, the knowledge, and the values to our children? So therefore, the temple now, they provide that opportunity for our children. Temple provide opportunities for many areas of our growth and development in life. Now temples are the only places to pray. They have sporting activities, social activities. When they have flooding in various places and they need help, temple devotees get together and whatever they have, they send it to those places. As we do in Swaha, and many others do it also, but we don't publicize it. We do it out of love for the people. So devotees, it's a whole wonderful area to go into, to see the changing nature of a temple and the utility of a temple and the definite importance of a temple in the life of every Hindu and every human being. And therefore we should all become members of a mandir, whichever mandir you want to go to. And don't say, I'm not going there because it's too much kuchuru. Don't be a part of the problem. You be a part of the solution. I come to the temple for the right reason. People who leave temples, something went wrong somewhere. If I come for the right reason to worship my Lord, I will not pay attention to what anybody says. If I come one day and I didn't get Persad, I don't say I'm not going back there. If I come one day and somebody said something harsh to me, I'm not saying I'm going back there. Then we didn't come for the right reason. Devotee, we come here for our own development, for our own betterment. And this is the temple provide that opportunity. So here a bird today, hungry, not finding food anywhere. He said, let me go to the temple. Because we all know sometimes in the temple, some food is left back. Some people, long ago, used to do it again when they had the iron steel chair. They just take the Persad. It was such a way that still the parcel, you only carry it home. It's too much, it's too oily. And all sorts of things. Let's not go there. Devotees, so this bird is thinking right. So he said, let me go and by the temple and see if I can find anything. The sages are listening. He's a king and he was a bird. They can't even make the connection yet from a Maharaja sitting on a throne to a bird with two wings flying on a tree. It's difficult to get that, but this is how life is. What were we in our last life? What will we become next life? That depends on us, on us. And so devotees, he says, oh holy ones, I went inside the temple, but I didn't go to pray. He went looking for food. People go to temples for different reasons. Nothing is wrong in that. But whatever you go for, if you go and you're genuine and sincere, you will get something from it. Temples are like mothers. As a mother gives, temples also give. So he said, I hopped, and I went right to where the murtis were, because that's where the offerings are made. I went from murti to murti to murti. I saw nothing, I found nothing. And that can only mean that those people who were in charge of those temples, they had a high sense of sanitation. They would clean the temple well. And God bless all those who made that tremendous sacrifice to involve themselves in the propagation of a temple, the promotion of a temple, the sanitation of a temple, and all that is necessary. You're using your hand in the service of God, and this is what we came here to do. All of us devotees. I found nothing, O holy ones. I became very sad. That was a temple devoted to Annapoorna Devi. We'll talk about her in a short while. So I thought to myself, it was nothing inside the temple, maybe around the temple, at the back of the temple, the yard of the temple, under the tree, by the tulsi plant, somewhere there might be some bit of food that I can partake of it and satisfy my hunger. And I was getting weaker and more tired. And I was becoming more frustrated. I hopped, here, there, everywhere. Looking eagerly, I found nothing. I became despondent. That today I went to the temple of the Lord and I did not get any food. That's how he's thinking. And so I flew away. And where I flew, I went to, this was in Kashi, this temple was in Kashi. And flew away from the temple, my energy would not take me any further. I lighted on a branch of a tree, and then my soul left my body. I died. Now, when we die, various things happen. The future of us, not the body will be disposed of. The future depends on what action we perform. That's why they say three things. We have to watch what we say, watch what we do, and watch the company we keep. So very important. And we all came in this world to act. We act for our own welfare. I must work for myself and my family. We didn't take a vow of poverty. Hinduism doesn't teach that. It says economic development, develop yourself. You heard a man last night, he had a lot of character, but he was very poor. What makes us poor? There are many reasons, but the major one is poor thinking. Poor thinking can lead to everything else, poor choices, and you name it, and poor decisions. Devotees. So, he was in Kashi, the soul left the body. What will happen? As we said, there is birth and rebirth. Lord Krishna says that. There is no such thing as this life, only this life, and nothing but this life. Others believe that. Fine, you believe what you want. But facts and history and everything else, common sense, will not bear that out. We'll explain a little bit more about that when we come to reincarnation. We have a few little points to deal with, but not in great detail. So, whatever we did is looked at. And based on the action we perform, that determines our future birth. There are many things that determine our next life. Bhagavad Gita says, one, the last thought in our mind. And devotees, we don't have time for that, but you'll be surprised to know that if you think when you're about to die, your thought will be upon God, if throughout your life your thoughts were not upon God, it won't happen. That's why scriptures say, Karle kam bhajile ram. Do your duty, but be conscious of God, that whenever death comes, my thoughts are upon the Lord. And scriptures say when your thoughts are upon the Lord, upon the point of death, you go to Him. Your way is sure, assured. But if throughout my life I'm thinking of everything material and family and this and that, how many a time when somebody lying on a bed, doctors have given up, meds not working, and they're still not dying because they're holding on to something. If they could talk, they could tell you. And we tell them, you go and tell your mother or grandmother, whoever it is, say, Ma, we okay. You don't have to worry about it. Don't hold on to anything. Let go everything. Think of God. That's why they do a Gita part, or they read Gita. They play bhajan, kirtan. So these thoughts will be in a person's mind, so they can die with the thought of God, and things will be better for the future. Bear these things in mind, devotees. Bear it in mind. So this bird, had been in the temple of Annapoorna Devi. And that thought on his mind, I went to the temple. I saw the murti of Ma. I saw the murti of Annapoorna Devi. And yet I got nothing. Still thoughts of God in his mind. And so the soul left the body. He's telling them because he knows the past, he knows the present, and he knows the future. And he says, upon that, based upon the action I performed, one, I fasted on that day. We'll talk about fasting another time. Fasting is a tremendous solution given by our sages for our development spiritually and otherwise. There are tremendous benefits in fasting. He had fasted on that day. Where was he? In Kashi, the holy city on the face of this earth, where there are thousands upon thousands of temples dedicated to Lord Shiva, where the Ganga flows, where there are all these various ghats, where even Tulsi Ghat, where he did so many wonderful things. Devotees, these are the places. That's why pilgrimage is so important. Many people make great sacrifice to go to India just to touch the Ganga, to see the Ganga, to bathe in the Ganga, to call their parents' name when they take a duck. You see, you have to have the mind and the money. Many have the money, but they don't have the mind. You need both. And when you go there, devotee, you see the benefit of pilgrimage, where you go to deepen that awareness and consciousness with the Lord. You feel a sense of closeness and whatever else. When you go, you will see. It's something to experience. You know, God is not something to talk about. You could talk about Him, but when you experience godliness, nothing could touch it. Nothing could corrupt you or convert you or confuse you. because you have felt it, you have experienced it. Devotees. So this bird had done pilgrimage. It had gone to the holy city. It had been to the temple of Annapoorna Devi. It had fasted. And these great things, tremendously powerful actions, a simple bird performed. And so, Ma and their devotees said, ah. You can imagine how this man was talking because he had felt it. I could always tell when someone is saying something that they feel. They're not just talking from here or what they read. It comes from inside because they have lived it. When you live it, you feel it, then you could say it. But emotion. He said, oh, how can I thank my mother? Through her grace, from a bird, I became a king. Oh, holy ones, you ask me. This is my life story. And then he went on to speak a bit of Ma. What is it that she will not grant you? What is it that's so near and dear to her that she will not share it with us? Sri Ram said the same thing to Narad, When Narad said, Prabhu, I want to ask of you something. Bhagwan Sri Ram said, Narad, then why the hesitation? There is nothing so near and dear to me that I will not give to my devotees. Hear the words of God. Devotee, we need to remind ourselves. That's why these temples and these yajnas are so important. So we can refresh our memory, remind ourselves, because we get carried away by materialism, by egoism, and all of these things. Sri Ram says there is nothing so near and dear to me that if my devotee is deserving of it, I will not give it to them. He said the same thing to Jatayu. Those who make tremendous sacrifice at the expense of their own bodily discomfort, whatever they desire and whatever they seek, it will be given to them. We have a Lord who is forgiving, who is giving and forgiving. Devotees, in that same Sri Ram, when he released the arrow behind Jatayu, not Jatayu, the Indra, his son, when he picked the foot of Sita, that arrow should have killed him. But devotees, when he went when he went everywhere, devotees seeking help, he went by his father. His father said, I created you, you came from me, my son, but I never taught you to be wicked and disrespectful to anyone. You disrespected God, you have to go back to God and beg for forgiveness. He went to Brahma, he went to Vishnu, he went to Shiva. They all said, we create man, but we didn't create the mischief in the mind of man. You go back and beg for forgiveness. Nada, he said, go. You have to go back to Sri Ram, and he the one to forgive you, because the arrow was behind him waiting to destroy him. He went and he fell upon the feet of Sri Ram, Dayakaro Rakshakaro, Pahimam. Then Sri Ram said, what you did, obviously, to pick the foot of Divine Mother. When you all come up just now for Chandan and Arti, you're going to bite the foot of Ma? You're going to bite she foot? You're going to choke she foot? We can't do that. You bow in reverence. You touch the feet lovingly, and you touch it to your forehead, and you experience something special that between you and Mother. That's what it's about. Sri Ram said, what you did is deserving of death. But you asked for forgiveness. You have repented. My arrow once released must hit its mark. So tell me, where do you want my arrow to strike you? He says, Lord, my eyes misled me. And devotees, bear this in mind. Anytime we make a mistake or we sin or we fall short, it's because we were misled by one of these senses. Maybe we heard something that poisoned our mind. Maybe we said something that upset someone to cause a reaction. Maybe we saw something we shouldn't have seen. And so it goes on and on. He had seen wrong. He had seen Divine Mother, not as mother. And as a victim, pick her foot, he had to pay the penalty. So he said, Lord, my eyes misled me. Therefore, let your arrow hit my eye. Sri Ram could have let the arrow pluck out both eyes, but God is so loving and forgiving. I want to remind you and leave here with that at all times, that your God is a loving God. And so only one eye was plucked out. He didn't take out two. Devotees, this is what we're talking about. When we talk about God, is going to be reminded. Read Bhagavad Gita also, chapter 12. Lord Krishna said, those who are forgiven by nature, those who have no malice, do not who aggravate others, and a whole host of things, he said, they are dear to me. Chapter 8 in the last chapter, coming to the end, what he said again, oh my people, you are exceptionally dear to me. Remember a few weeks ago I read that for you all. You are exceptionally dear to me. Devotees, how do you see yourself in relation to God? God says we are near and dear to him. But do we see God being near and dear to us? Do we see we here and God there? God is in us in the form of the Atma. And devotee, we have to experience him inside of us. If we don't, then what is God to us? Not only he said that you are exceptionally dear to me. He says, I promise you, Lord Krishna said, I promise you, I shall absolve you of your sins. Worry not. Those were the last two words of that chapter. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. He says, worry not. Our Lord says, worry not. This is what God is all about. This is what he's speaking about, devotees. That's why tears came to his eyes. Because God is so kind, so loving. There's so many wonderful things waiting for you and I. If only we decide to lead a religious life. If only we decide to show more love and care and compassion. If only we decide to do our prayer, our havan, our puja. There's so much here waiting for you. Or this day, 21st of September, when Lord Ganesh partook of the milk. What else do we want, devotees? What does God have to do again? It's for you and I to step up and accept him and commit ourselves to him. Here, this man did that, and today from a bird, a hungry bird, a tired bird, a frustrated bird, but yet the good things he did on that particular day, today he had become a king. And he's living to tell the story, devotees, is there for you and I. I am sure we all want a better future. But our future, the future, tomorrow starts today. Tomorrow starts today, no other time. Don't say tomorrow. Procrastination is the thief of time. The bhajan says, Ude jaga musafir. What has to be done tomorrow, do it today. What has to be done today, do it now. What have you done now, do it right now. You all heard that already. So devotees, he couldn't speak anymore. Whenever you're truly taken up in the greatness and glory of Bhagwan, there comes a time when speech is not enough because you're experiencing something inside. And so there he closed his eyes. And blessed indeed are those who worship Ma. If only they understand the greatness of man, the power of Ma, they will hold on to nothing otherwise. O sages, I have seen it, I have experienced it. And their devotees, there's a bhajan glorifying Annapoorna Devi. Let us join in glorifying Ma, and they will speak a little more about the greatness of Annapoorna Devi and one or two other points. Pranam Devi Maya, Pranam Devi Maya, Pranam Devi Maya, Pranam Devi Maya, Balram Pranam Devi Maya, Balram. Oh, Balram, Pranam Devi Maya. जो नहीं ध्यावे तुम हे अंबिके, जो नहीं ध्यावे तुम हे अंबिके, कहाँ वो से विश्राम, कहाँ उसे विश्राम, बारम अन्नपूर्णा देवी, अन्नपूर्णा मैया, अन्नपूर्णा मैया, अन्नपूर्णा माँ, अन्नपूर्णा। अन्नपूर्णा देवी नाम तिहारो, लेते होत सब काम, लेते होत बारंबार प्रणाम देवी मैया हो देवी देवी माँ देवी देवी माँ मैया देवी देवी माता मैया देवी देवदया निधि दशमी दया दया तब नाम. Look at my devotees. We are asking daya daya. Have mercy, have compassion. If at any time we said something or did something to our mother, or any of the forms of mother we spoke about yesterday, we made a mistake because we are human beings, we are imperfect. But Ma, help us not to make such mistakes again. We need your mercy, we need your grace, we need your forgiveness. Pray, devotees. Daya, daya, tabana. Daya, daya, tabana. Barambar pranam Devi Maya ho barambar pranam. Trahi trahi sharanagata vatsal sharan ropata vadham क्रांति भ्रांति में एकांति शांति क्रांति भ्रांति में एकांति शांति मई पर दे लू निष्काम मई पर दे लू निष्काम बारंबार प्रणाम देवी मैया ओ बारंबार प्रणाम नाम देवी मैया प्रणाम देवी प्रणाम देवी मैया प्रणाम देवी मैया बारंबार प्रणाम देवी मैया हो बारंबार प्रणाम देवी मैया हो बारंबार प्रणाम देवी. बोले श्री शक्ति अन्नपूर्णा माता की. Devotees, those sages were touched, they were moved because they were genuine men seeking spiritual knowledge. And such an experience they had never had for the longest while. And they all, while he was speaking about Ma, they were experiencing and visualizing Ma. And when he was finished, he said, what more can I say? What more? This is the grace of Ma, this is the glory of Ma, the greatest of Ma. And they all joined. Bole Shri Annapoorna Maharani ki. They got up, they bowed, having this wonderful satsang, associate for that which is constructive, developmental and progressive to really make life make sense. And they went home devotees. And from then on, they all became devotees of Divine Mother Annapoorna. Let us now share a few words of Annapoorna Devi. Devotees, she is associated with food. Anna means grain. Remember, there's Kanyadan Mahadan. There's Gyandan Mahadan. There's Annadan Mahadan. The gift of food is one of the greatest gifts we can also give. As you heard last night, I mentioned over just under 1 billion people of 7 billion people in this world face starvation every day. Many people are fleeing their country because of only security reasons. There's nothing to eat. Our neighbor next door, they're flocking to our country, as well as others in other islands. Right as some of our Caribbean countries, they're flattened, there's nothing to eat. They're begging if it's some water you can send. Whatever it is, send it for them. Help us. Annadan Mahadan, devotees. Pitaji, God bless him, and Mataji. I remember those words when we would follow him everywhere. Krishna, I remember too. He said, see one grain of rice as a gold coin. One way I hear that, I say, what is this, boy? My father saying one grain of rice like a gold coin. But they understood what they were talking about. They knew the kind of home they come from, where they started. They should drink mar with both pepper. Roti and the homemade ghee. Nothing wrong with that, you know. It's very good. Then kirochan, when you take out the ghee from top, whatever left at the bottom of the pot, you scrape it, put some sugar, and that is what they grew up on. Lots of fruits and vegetables. Eating very little, working very hard. Devotees. So they understood the importance and value of food. Now there are countries that are starving. Now there are countries that are now understanding the importance of food security. There are countries whose food import bill is in the billions. Ours is one of that. Tell them about land, they don't want to hear that. Check the budget coming up, how much given for agriculture. I'm not talking politics, I'm talking my country, the benefit of my country and my people. Because I'm a Trini too. Everyone come and go. Name it from past to present. Agriculture was an outside child. Sorry if the language sounds bad. Forgive me. But it's a fact. They don't understand the world civilized nations. They all built their economies on an agrarian basis. You must be strong to feed yourself. When you can feed yourself, then you can do other things. That message hadn't gotten home yet. And you know, we all gonna stain everything. I will go stain it up. Stain it up. Go ahead. There's your choice, devotees. Somebody and some of us have to get together and say, hey, not this again anymore. Do not do this to us and our people and our country. But that's another time, another situation. So Annapoorna Devi is the goddess, let's say, of grains. And when you notice, you look at Sanatan Dharma and its practices, rice is everywhere. And devotees, there are those who say don't eat rice. They don't mean that. They just don't eat too much. If your capacity is a little bit, why are you going so much? And I used to see that long time. Because we in this thing long time. When you go, you really like curry and rice. And when you put some more, boy. And you make a nice big hole in the center. And you fold it with curry and you're well eating and feeling good. But not understanding what's doing to you. Because when you don't eat that, you're feeling sleepy, you go and lie down on a couch and sleep. What did it do to you? You're damaging your own self. The same food that should bring health is bringing ill health. So devotees, rice is one of the manifestations of food. And more than half of the people in this world eating rice every day. But that's another topic. We'll go into that. And rice represents fertility, abundance, and blessings. They should put it hand in the kalsa. When Dulaha going to Dulhin, training rice and thing. When Baba living after the yak, training rice also. When in puja, they're showing rice upon you. You could go on and on. Devotees. What did Dashrath do when he did the Putreshti Yag? Again Devata came. What he brought with him? Pizza? Paisam? Kheer? Sweet rice? And he gave it to him and he distributed among his queens. And so Ram, Lakshmana, Shatrughan came into this world. So I can go on. There are many, many examples, devotees. But this bit is enough. So it's an important call by Annapoorna Devi. Respect food. When food is placed before you, as Ramayana says, Valmiki says, Prabhu, those who you want a place to reside, then those who before they eat, they offer the food to you, Lord. Twadiyavastu Govindam. Today, through your grace, I have acquired this bit of food. Before I partake, God bless it, O Lord, that must do me well physically, emotionally, spiritually, otherwise. That is respect for food, devotees. That's how it has to be. So, Annapoorna Devi is reminding us of our eating habits. Oh God, leave that there. About our food and the type of food too. But we can't talk about, we have Shakahari and Masahari. I mean, I can't put a piece of things on and say, God bless it if I eat it, like do me good. Because Bhagwan never said eat those things. He was a vegetarian, Sri Ram was a vegetarian all the way. But then that's your choice. Continue until you reach that stage where you realize, you know what? Why should I do that? And many organizations and many books have been written on the benefits of vegetarianism. You know the little calf was saying, Mama, why those people butchering us? Who's studying that? Nobody studying that? So devotees, it's unbelievable. So all of this is tied with Annapoorna Devi. And when you do puja, at the end you give Baba what? Sira. And what does Sira have? Must have a bit of rice, a bit of dal. And what does Baba do? Well, at least we do it. I don't know whatever is done elsewhere. We take a little bit of the rice or the sita, or the dal, and we say, Beti or whoever it is, and you either in your hand or you take your anchal, only however you want to get tariatu, and we pour it, and what do we say? Annapoorna Devi, Lakshmi Mata Namah. Maybe we're not paying attention to that. Your Baba, these Babas, we say that. May the goddess of grain and foodstuff be always in your home, that it should not be lacking of foodstuff and nourishment and health, because food is meant to give health. And may Lakshmi Mata reside in your home, so we give back some. Some people say when you do that, they give you sin and you give them back sin. We have time for stupid talk today. Right, let's move on. Because just recently I heard Ganesh was so finished, and now they're changing the talk a little bit. When we say in Swaha, put Tulsi in Ganesh Persad. They say no, so. I won't go into that now. But now they have made a little concession and say only for Ganesh Jayanti you can put the Tulsi. So you know what you're saying and you know what you're doing. I done radio, eh? Well, listen to radio. Pick sense from nonsense. I don't still listen to radio. Pick sense from nonsense. Devotees, unbelievable what's taking place. We will sit here and speak what is right. You may not like how we say it and how we are forceful. We might appear to be very, egoistic. None of that. We truly care. We have a passion and we'll continue to do it. God willing, through His grace and through Pitaji's blessings. So devotee, this is a bit about Annapoorna Devi. The idea of sustaining life, of nourishing life, of giving, of sharing, of providing, of health, which is the greatest wealth, and bear this in mind, devotees. If you don't have this health, and yet the body is from time it is given to these things, and if perhaps we didn't really do what was expected, it's not too late to make a change. So this Annapoorna Devi, Maya is speaking to us. And if you ever see a picture of Annapoorna Devi, when we go this time, we had to try and get one limti. We had to get a picture of Annapoorna Devi. You can't, I'd look for all about it. And if you don't on the internet, somebody check it, or I'll go home and check it. Devotee, she is seen with a cooking pot and a spoon. And there are people who do engage in protest action. When they're starving for water and food, they walk with a pot and a spoon, telling you, hey, you understand what we're saying here? We are nothing to eat. Do something. Do something. Devotee, everything goes back to the present day. It's unbelievable. Now, there's a festival in honor of Annapoorna Devi called Annakuta. They bring food into a whole mountain and then it's distributed to the community. Don't they have that now? They have food festival with different fruits and different kind of types of food. They have the pepper sauce festival, and somebody from Trinidad came first in the world. We had the best pepper sauce. You know that? All of these things, devotees, unbelievable. And I can go on, but this much for Annapoorna Devi. Bole Shriyar Shakti Jagdambika Mata Ki. I just want to share two things with you, or three things quickly. Parikrama. The bird went around the temple. Notice we do arti like this. I know some do so. You make a triangle, no problem. Or where you call that? Palna. No problem, you want to do it so. But it is parikrama, complete circle. If you want your life to be incomplete, like when I touch Ganesh broke, no problem. Do it complete. Devotees, when you're getting married, you go around the fire. I didn't see them go by the fire and they walk back and come back this way. But when you're doing arti, you want to do so. But when you're going around the fire, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not laughing at anybody. Then devotee, when someone has died, and whoever is doing the part goes around the chitta, like parikrama. We just had Ganesh festival. Lord Ganesh became Pratham Puj because he went around his parents, he went around the name Sri Ram, and he went around the world. His own parents, the name Sri Ram. He performed parikrama. Bharaji came and said, where is my Sri Ram? Where is my Sri Ram? Janani maine jivu bina Ram. I cannot live without my God Sri Rama. Then what to do? Chitrakut chalori maya. Let's go to Chitrakut. And so they went. And when he met Sri Ram, I leave it to imagination, devotee. Where there is love. Can you really speak about love? You experience love. Bharaji, how he held the Karavan, how he performed circumambulation around Bhagwan Sri Ram is most touching part of Ramayana. So all of these are examples of parikrama. All of these are examples. And this bird had performed this tremendous action of parikrama. And why this is so important is part of spiritual action you perform in devotion. There's the chakras in our body. Briefly, the 7 chakras are energy centers. How do you activate them? Through spiritual practices, through performing acts of devotion. And when you perform parikrama, it helps in the activation of the energy centers within the body. Make sense, devotees? Unbelievable. Annapoorna Devi. That's why the king cried and said, what more can I say? What more can I say? I've experienced Ma. We go, devotees. There is reincarnation. A bird became a king. And in Bhagavad Mahapuran, a king became a deer. Jad Bharat, he became a deer. But all other stories for Bhagavad. And here we have Adhik Maas coming up next year, so we'll think about that when the time comes. So devotees, in this reincarnation, we can go up or we can go down. You can't go, nobody can get away. It's up or down. You can improve from animal to human, and from human to Devata, or you can go from human to animal and whatever else. What is the evidence for that? Our religion was knocked and laughed at because of that concept. Now it's a fact. Before they call it a doctrine, a theory. Now it's a doctrine of reincarnation. I'll give you a few brief examples to show that. Devotees, let us just take 2 babies are born right now. One is going to a home where he will be given all the best food and clothing and a condition and love and you name it. Another one will grow up in abject poverty. If God is loving and kind and just, how do you explain this injustice, this inequality between 2 babies born at the same time? The only answer is a previous birth. Why this one was born to this parent and this one born to that parent? Why are some born with certain disabilities, handicaps, etc.? How come one child is so peaceful and loving, another is unbelievably opposite? Not that they can't be trained, they could. But we're speaking about you have to use some point of reference. Devotees, if God is loving and just, God will not say, okay, you see, you will go to a good home and you go into a real bad home, you suffer. How God could jump to that conclusion? God can't do that because he sees all. He says, you are exceptionally dear to me. But again, at the end of the day, it is the action we perform. And devotees, that's why it's so very important. We have to watch what we say. We have to know what action we perform. The bhajan brings it up beautifully. Then we'll continue that point. काहे सोच भैया काहे सोच करे नर मन में कर्म लिखा हो ये सोवत प्यारे हाँ कर्म लिखा हो ये सोवत प्यारे काहे सोच रामा काहे सोच करे नर मन में होनहार मिटे नहीं कब हूँ मिटे नहीं कब हूँ कोटि जतन शिव कोटि जतन कर सब ये हारे सब ये हारे कर्म लिखा हो ये हरिश्चंद्र नल राम युधिष्ठिर राम युधिष्ठिर राम युधिष्ठिर राजे छोर राम राजे छोर बनवास सिधारे बनवास सिधारे अपने करनी निश्चय भरनी, निश्चय भरनी। दुश्मन मित्र राम, दुश्मन मित्र कोई तुम्हारे, कोई तुम्हारे। कर्म लिखा हो ये सोवत प्यारे, हो कर्म लिखा हो ये। काहे सोचे रामा, काहे सोचे करे नर मन में, करे नर मन में। कर्म लिखा हो ये सोवत प्यारे, हो कर्म लिखा हो ये सोवत प्यारे। काहे सोच, काहे सोच, काहे सोच, काहे सोच। think, think, think. काहे सोच करे नर मन में, कर्म लिखा हो ये सोवत प्यारे। काहे सोच, काहे सोच। Correct it. The good I did, I can continue doing it. What I didn't do well, I can try to do it better. So to redo, outdo, and undo is a Hindu. I love karma. That's for you and I. So devotees, the thing is, if presently as I sit here now, you're hearing what I'm saying, don't condemn yourself. Lord Krishna never said you're condemned. He said you're exceptionally dear to me. So if things are not going the way I want them to go, then I need to, if I'm doing what is right, I need to continue. Because we don't know, we have three kinds of action: Pradam, Sanchit, and Agami. The action of the past which have borne fruit. The action of the past which have not borne fruit yet. You have to understand how there's like a bow and arrow and the quiver on the back. You shoot an arrow, that's an action done, it has performed, it has reached, given the fruit. There's one in the bow waiting to be shot, and the arrow is still in the quiver. So we don't know what it is. And many of us get confused. We say, Baba, but my neighbor is a wicked man. Well, I don't know why we like to jump on the neighbor. And he do all kind of foolishness, and he's seen his way. And I pray, and I come in temple, I offer in jal, I light in diya, and janjat after janjat, janjat after janjat. I can't understand that. I don't understand that. Why don't you understand that? Simple. The good that he has done is now bearing fruit. But the evil or wickedness he has done will also come to haunt him. So just have patience. But you don't worry your neighbor. Study about yourself. And continue doing what is necessary. Happiness is found in everybody's garden. God doesn't pick and choose. He doesn't favor him and doesn't favor this one. We are all there. Sun shines upon all. God's grace is upon all. He is our divine Father, and we are his children. Hey Jagat Pita Bhagwan, Hame do Gyan, Tu Ishwara Pyara. So devotees, reincarnation. Some more evidence. How come there are some people have phobias? I hear some people say, I'm afraid to fly. Well, don't fly, no problem. You have wings. You're going on a plane, but you're afraid to fly. They're afraid darkness. Where they got these phobias from? Just think. I'm not going to answer anything. What you think. So phobias, the existence of phobias or fears is evidence of reincarnation. Then there is xenoglossy. The ability to speak a language that you never learned in your present life. And there are people who right now, they speak a language they haven't been to school yet. And they're speaking more than one language. How do you explain that? Where did that come from? Devotees, there is past life regression. There is shambling, which is taking on the character of one whom you have never seen or heard. When we go to the scriptures, from Satnad and Bratkatha, the Brahman Shatanan, he was reborn as Sudama. Remember Sudama ba? The woodcutter, man cutting wood, he was reborn as Nishad Raj, that he was able to welcome Sri Ram, built a bed of leaves, and was able to feed the Lord. Nishad Raj, a woodcutter, became Nishad Raj. Then Ulkamukh Raja, Satnam Bratkatha, he became Raja Dashrath, to have the joy of seeing Sri Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughan. They sat on his back, ride him like a horse. He would sleep with them, he would feed them. When food was placed there, he never ate. He said, Kaushila, I can eat. Where are my children? Bring them before me. And when they came, then he would partake of the food. And this king became Raja Dashrath. The Sadhu, Banya, from the Satnam Bratkatha. He became King Mordhwaj, where he had freedom from birth and death. Look at what he became, devotees. And King Tungdhwaj, he was born as Raja Manu, and Satrupa became his wife. Devotees. And then in Shiv Puran, Kamdev, who was told, go and tempt Shivaji so he could break his meditation, get married to Parvati and have a son, Ganesh and Swami Kartikeya, to destroy that demon called Tarkasur. Because he said, if I have to die, it's only at the hands of a son of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was always in meditation, so a man who eyes closed and always in meditation, how are we going to see who get married with? So therefore, he went and did that. He was burnt. And devotees, his wife Rati was hurt. And she went towards Bhagwan Shiva. And then devotee, Bhagwan Shiva said, worry not. Your son shall be born as Pradyuman, the son of Lord Krishna, and you shall be married to him. You shall be the daughter-in-law of Lord Krishna. And I've always said, if I have the opportunity to be a daughter-in-law of the God, of Lord, I'd willing for that. The only time I'm glad to become a woman. Sorry, I hope it doesn't sound too bad. I'm just, forgive me if it sounds bad. But I will willingly become the daughter-in-law of Lord Krishna. You wouldn't want that? Anyway, nobody seemed to agree with me. Kakbhushun Rama became a snake. He became a snake. Raja Bali daughter, she became Putna. When she tried to poison Lord Krishna, I can go on and on and on. So reincarnation is a factor of life, but I want you to leave here with this very important point, devotees, that we can change our future. We can change our presence. All we need is to make the effort. Ram Kripa, grace of God, and Kal, in the passing of time, all will come to fruition. So this is what this Katha offers, and much, much more. So devotees, our religion offers us empowerment. It gives us the ability to change whatever we're not happy with. We don't have to say we're born poor, live poorer, and die more poor. That's not Hinduism, that's poor thinking. We all have the ability to elevate ourselves. And Lord Krishna says that. A man, his mind is his best friend or his own worst enemy. So devotees, I don't wish to go any further. Deepam grihana devasya trayokya timirapam iti deepam. Agni rajyotir nama deepam samartayami. Om Tat Sat.
Jayambe Gauri Maiya, Jai Shama Gauri Maiya, Jayambe Gauri Maiya, Jai Shama Gauri Maiya. Tumko nish din dhyavan Hare Brahma Shivaji, Jayambe Gauri Maiya, Jai Shama Gauri.
नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण 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 हरि ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण ओम नमो नारायण हरि 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 ओम नमो नारायण ओम नमो नारायण
हरि ओम नमो नारायण
हरि ओम नमो नारायण हरि ओम नमो नारायण 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 भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण नारायण हरि नारायण भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण
भजुमन सूरज भजुमन चंदा
भजमन सूरज भजमन चंदा
भजुमन सूरज भजुमन चंदा
भजमन सूरज भजमन चंदा भजमन पवन सुमीर सुमेरो मन नारायण ओ भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण भजमन गौरी और गणेशा
भजुमन गौरी और गणेश
भजमन सती संगशील सुमेरो मन नारायण ओ भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण भजमन सीता भजमन रामा
भजुमन सीता भजुमन रामा
हनु हनु हनुमत वीर सुमेरो मन नारायण ओ भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण भजमन तुलसी भजमन चंदन
भजुमन तुलसी भजुमन चंदन
भजमन गवन की पीर सुमेरो मन नारायण हो भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण हो भजमन हरि हर ओम सुमेरो मन नारायण बम बोले हरि मोर मन कामना पूरा करे बम बोले हरि मन कामना पूरा करे, मोर मन कामना पूरा करे,
तोर मन कामना पूरा करे।
बम बोले हरि, मोर मन कामना पूरा करे,
बम
बोले हरि, मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। बाबा की राम पर बोले मधुर, बोले मधुर, बोले मधुर, सब कम रटवा बाबा मधुर,
सब कम रटवा
बाबा हजूर। बम बोले हरि, मोर मन कामना पूरा करे, बम बोले हरि, मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। बाबा की नाम पर गंगा की धार, गंगा की धार, गंगा की धार, सब कम रटवा बाबा दुआर,
सब कम रटवा
बाबा दुआर। बम बोले हरि, मोर मन कामना पूरा करे, बम बोले हरि,
मोर मन कामना पूरा करे।
बम बोले हरि।
मंगलम में अस्तु, सर्वेषां मंगलम भवतु, ओम सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु, ओम सर्वेषां शांतिर्भवतु, ओम सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, ओम सर्वेषां मंगलम भवतु, ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम मंगलम भगवान विष्णु, मंगलम ध्वजम, मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष, मंगलाय तनो हरि। ओम आवाहनम न जानामि, न जानामि विसर्जनम, पूजां चैव न जानामि, क्षम्यतां परमेश्वरी। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम शांति शांति शांति। बोले श्री अन्नपूर्णा माता की, उमापति महादेव की, स्वाहा माता की, उरैसा जगन्नाथ की, बोलो भाई सब संतन की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, उरैसा जगन्नाथ की, बोले श्री गुरु महाराज की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की। शुभ मस्तु, कल्याण मस्तु। आपको धन्यवाद, सत्य आशीर्वाद। आप लोग बैठ जाएंगे। पाहिमाम त्राहिमाम। ओम तत्सत शक्ति शरणम। Devotees, our Shrota today is Karuna, and together with her is Sumati, Tara, I'm not seeing, Nirmala, Videshan, Akhilesh. So devotees, they start and perform puja today in our temple, in our yag, in Navratri. Blessings to all of them. And devotees, they all very special, very near and dear to us. And today is a very special day. We also mentioned about the Lord Ganesh, consumption of the milk. Today is Tara's birthday. What a wonderful day. And we all know she's a fighter. Despite what confronts her in life, she's there, thick and thin with her mother, regularly coming to the mandir. And we all know of her challenges, and she has done well. So Tara, Shubh Janamdin, blessings to you. Well done. And Taruna, well, you know you're very close to us, always supportive, always helpful. And Sumati, well, we had to hear you sing during the course of the yag. So at this point, I'll hand over to who it is? Forgive me, but I'm. Huh? Who? Guru Mai? I've not seen so.
Sit down, devotees. I know it was mentioned before that we are having Kanya Puja on the 28th. Just want to entice you to come along and witness and be part of this very memorable day, occasion. I'd like to